Hi, I was talking to a friend the other day and she was talking about how she was scheduling time each day to do her exercise, so making sure that she had time for her physical fitness. And it got me thinking, I was wondering how many people actually schedule time for healthy eating, so to make sure that they are prepared and ready to eat healthily. Now, I was thinking about, okay, so what does that look like? And the things that I thought about that, I tend to do, but maybe a lot of people don't because they just think, oh, okay, I eat healthy, full stop, that's it. But if you want, the things that are quite useful to do and I find quite handy are number one, actually allocating time, and I like to usually do it on a Sunday, sort of a late Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. I spend an hour or so, bit less, bit more sometimes, depending on how I feel, planning the meals for the week. So what that usually involves is actually looking at what's currently planned for the week, and working out, okay, which evenings do I not have a lot of time, so I need to have either a meal that's really quick and simple or something that comes out of the freezer. Obviously is always another good alternative. How many people are going to be here to eat, what do I have available at the moment, so what vegetables I have that need to be used up, do I have any meat in the freezer. So I use that as a basis to plan out the meals that we're having for a week. And I then write my shopping list so that I've got that ready to go to the supermarket, so I'm not just randomly buying things, and so that we use up all the food that we actually have. So that's the first thing that I really wanted to talk about. And the next thing I wanted to add into that is emergency meals, having some emergency meals, because obviously things change. So, you might think you've got a quiet night, you're planning on taking time preparing a meal, and then you either get caught up at work, there's an emergency, one of the kids, and you end up getting home, everybody's hungry, and you just need to get food on the table. So there's a couple of options, and things that require, it's good to have planned ahead. So I often think about this as well when I'm meal planning is, do we have, am I going to batch cook something so that, it's ready for either later in the week, or I can pop it in the freezer, and then, when we get home and we just need a meal on the table quickly, then I can grab that and we're sorted in 10 minutes or so when ready. So that's one option, which is something that you've probably thought about. Another option as well, which you may not have thought about, is actually taking time, just one evening, when you're sort of just sitting in front of the TV or whatever, or you've just got a few spare minutes, sitting on a bus, instead of just doom scrolling, actually sit and think about what are some quick and simple meals that I can put together in a few minutes. Now, there are some really good options for this. I like to make sure that I've always got some lettuce available, because lettuce lasts a while. Your carrots, things like that, cucumbers, all of that. You can shop beginning of the week, and then usually they'll last quite a while. So that's quite good to have things like that. I love so you can put together a really quick salad, throwing things like gherkins in. Awesome, or a bit of sauerkraut. Sauerkraut, awesome, looking after your gut health. Similarly with gherkins, so things that just sit in your fridge, and they last a long time. So they're great for throwing in a salad, as well as capers. All that sort of stuff are really good for that. And then looking at adding protein. So a lot of proteins, which will be either pantry friendly, such as your tinned beans. Can also be things like, the tin of tuna. Obviously, they're great for emergency meals, but also, your blocks of cheese. they're fantastic as well. One actual really good meal that I have come on to in the last year or so is goat's cheese. So your lovely soft goat's cheese. And using that, if you actually just stir fry a few vegetables. Now it could be, if needs be, frozen vegetables, if you haven't got anything available, or just grabbing some frozen vegetables, or like I say, mushrooms, quick, easy, chop, chop, chop. Mushrooms, again, a bag of spinach or something like that. Just quickly stir fry those up. At the end, turn the heat off. Don't forget, we all love some herbs, garlic, chili, all of that. Throw those in. And at the end, just put the goat's cream cheese through, and it makes a beautiful creamy sauce that goes with it. Seriously, it only takes a few minutes to put that together. So there are a couple of ideas, but it really pays to actually sit down and think in advance of these type of meals that you just have, and you forget about something that you can whip together with what you've got generally in your pantry or your freezer or your fridge. So it's worth, like I say, just spending that 10 minutes writing down, what those meals are, so that when you actually get caught, you don't have to think, oh my gosh, what could I possibly do? Okay, I've got this option, that option, that option. Things like couscous, great for something like that. Quick, boil the kettle, throw that on the couscous, it's ready in a few minutes, while you're quickly putting together some other things to go with that. I've got lots and lots of ideas for things that we can do, but I don't want to spend the whole video talking about those. So I will move on and talk about my next tip, which is actually what you want to do to basically prioritize your healthy eating and actually planning for healthy eating is book lunch with yourself. Okay, so everybody's busy. We can get actually booked out with meetings, but I definitely recommend that you actually book time out for lunch, and give yourself time to actually sit and eat. When you actually stop and eat, your digestion works much better, so you'll get much more nutrition out of the food that you're eating. And you'll actually find that the benefits will come from that as well. Throw into that, if you can, a quick walk around the block, get some beautiful sunshine, bit of fresh air, bit of exercise, and you'll find that your afternoon is much more productive. So I hope this has all been useful. Few tips for actually looking after your nutrition health, your fitness, your nutrition fitness, and actually the benefits of actually thinking about it and scheduling time into your week to do that.